Welcome to Africa Express. Today we are in Brockton. We are going to be looking at various things that are happening in Brockton, innovations and changes. And to discuss this topic with us today is none other than the mayor herself. In fact, she is the first ever female mayor of Brockton. And she is here on Africa Express to share her views of Brockton with us. Welcome to the show, Madam Mayor.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. Very, very grateful to be here.
We're glad to have you. You are, in fact, the first female mayor of Brockton. Do you see this as a change in the political landscape of Brockton? Because Brockton there's a lot of gatekeepers in Brockton.
Right. You know, it's interesting. People ask me a lot about the election and how did it happen. I think at the time I was just the right candidate at the right time, and people were looking for change, and I was there. But I do think that being the first female mayor has changed the political landscape somewhat in the city, because I believe now that there are probably individuals in the community who thought that they would never have an opportunity or a chance to run for mayor, or would be discouraged from running for mayor because they saw similar candidates get elected all the time. And now they have seen that with some hard work and with some dedication and commitment to the community, if you want to become mayor, you do have an opportunity to become mayor. I'm not saying that it's easy, because it isn't, and I was involved in political life for a long time before I ran for mayor. But it definitely, I think my election gave people hope and showed them that they can do it if they want to, that it's not something that they can't do. And for that, I'm very grateful, and I think it's a good thing for people. And I do think you'll see, as the years go by in Brockton, more and different varied candidates because of my success. So I think that that's a great thing for the city.
You didn't just get up one day and decide to run for mayor. Tell us a little bit about your political background.
Okay. I was born and raised in the city, and I went away to college and came back and worked in the city for a long time. I did a lot of community involvement. I was involved in a lot of nonprofits doing work. I served on one of the city boards, the planning board. Then I had the opportunity to run for city council. I ran for city council, and I represented Ward 4, which is the ward where I actually was born and raised and still lived at the time. I represented that ward for 4 terms, which is 8 years, because each term in Brockton is a 2-year term. And then I had the opportunity to buy a home. But the home was on the other side of the city, not in my ward. So I could not seek re-election to that ward seat because you have to live in the ward in which you're elected.
Right.
So in Brockton, we have, in addition to 7 ward councilors, we have 4 at-large councilors who represent the whole city. So I decided to that I still enjoyed being on the council. I still enjoyed serving the city and serving the residents of Brockton. So I took the opportunity to run at large, and I was successful, and I won. And I served in the councilor at large for 2 terms, 4 years. So I served 12 years, on the council before I decided to run for mayor. What prompted me to run for mayor is what many people don't realize, is that being a city councilor is a part-time job. So I had a full-time job at Bridgewater State University, which is a public university not too far from Brockton. So I had that full-time job, and I had the city council jobs considered a part-time job. And after 12 years of doing that, it was becoming a lot, and I was getting a little bit tired. And I was trying to decide whether I would run for re-election to the council, or whether I would give it up entirely, or whether I would run for mayor. And it just occurred, or seemed to me, that it was a good time and a good opportunity to try to run for mayor. And so I did that, and a lot of people thought that it wasn't the smartest move on my part. Many people tried to discourage me because I ran against an incumbent and a man, and they thought that I didn't have a chance. They didn't think that I could possibly be elected. But the voters of the city spoke, and I was very, very fortunate that in November of 2009, I won by 13% and became the first female mayor of the city. But I have had a lot of years in the community, not just in politics, but in the community as a whole.
Yes. You have a family. How do you balance the family and the additional task that you took?
Yeah, it is difficult. I have a mother who's elderly, who I help with, and I have siblings and nieces and nephews, and it is very difficult. It's difficult to balance your home life. We were joking before the show, and I was saying I needed to go home after this show to look for something, and I said, "Oh, everything's a wreck at home," because you're not there, and it's hard to do. People don't realize you have daily tasks like everybody else has, to clean your house and pay your bills and do all those things. And again, as I said, my mom is elderly. She needs help and assistance. And my nieces, who I love dearly, I don't have children of my own, but I love them dearly. And it's hard sometimes, because a lot of times we'll be at a family event, and I will have to leave early or get there later because of other commitments that I have. And they're always, asking me, "Can't you stay longer?" or "Why can't you come?" But they know that I'm trying to help my community. They know it's important to me. Sometimes they get frustrated, but they know that it's not forever. And they also know that I'm very fortunate to be where I am. So I do my best to balance it, but I have to tell you, there are some days that I'm tired and the days are long. But when you have an opportunity to have one good thing that happens in the week, or you're able to help one person or put one person's fears to rest because of something they were worried about happening to them that you were able to help them with, those are the things you have to think about when you get a little frustrated and think, "Oh, what am I doing? And I don't have any time to do this." So it is very hard, but I do my best. I'm not good at taking vacation. I haven't taken a day off. I've taken one day off, but I'm going to try to be a little bit better at that, because everybody says you need some time to yourself to rest up so that you'll be good for everybody else. So I'm going to try to be better at that.